So traders, this is another lesson on technical analysis. This one should be shorter. I'm going to look at Fibonacci levels real quick, specifically retracement levels. Fibonacci levels are based on Fibonacci ratios. And where they came from was an Italian mathematician by the name of Leonardo Fibonacci. And he was really smart, super crazy, obsessed with numbers dude. But what he found while looking at proportions in nature is they followed certain ratios, and he came up with a series to represent these ratios, or the other way around, sorry. He came up with a series, and from the series he came up with these ratios. The series it goes 0, 1, and then 1 plus 0 equals 1, and then 1 plus 1 equals 2, 2 plus 1 equals 3, and so on and so on. 3 plus 2 equals 5, 5 plus 3 equals 8. You get it. You take the number and take the one that preceded it and add it. And by doing this, he found that certain proportions existed in ratios. For instance, if you add a number and then you divide it by the one that succeeded it, for instance, 13 divided by 21, you got 0.618. Or 34 divided by 55. And for the second one, if you divided a number and then divided by the alternate succeeding number, so 34 divided by 89, you get 0.382. So, or 38.2% of it. So in trading, how we use this is we look at these levels as support or resistance levels when we're talking about Fibonacci retracement, which is what we're going to focus on for this brief video. The reason it's brief is because there's tons and tons of information on Fibonacci, and it's rather simple to use. And I don't use extensions, so if you would like to look at extensions, there's plenty of information out there. Just look. YouTube's a great source, or this website has some other websites associated with it that if you look around, there's plenty of Fibonacci videos that you can find on extensions. Extensions are just used for take profit levels. Instead of using extension levels, I use something called the measured move rule, which I talked about in the previous lesson. So we'll kind of avoid the extensions. So we're just briefly going to go over how to use retracements. Now, if you haven't looked at the market environments lesson yet, make sure you look at that, because Fibonacci levels are the best when they're in a trading market environment, or a market that has a medium to high amount of volatility and a medium to high amount of directional movement. So, what are we looking at here? Let's move here. Now, if you're looking at them on the chart, I find it easier when using these kind of tools to look at bars. They take up less space and it's kind of less noisy and messy. But let's say that you're going to take this move from right here to here. Look. Or better yet, either way. See, look, you had an up move, move down, right here. Now again, these aren't exact sciences, but you look, price moved up, and then quickly got rejected. It pierced it for a second, but it got rejected off the 60.18% Fibonacci level. Now if we move up again, the same thing happened. Price got retraced. Now make sure you're going from the top to the bottom of each price level. So as price moves up, so this part of the chart doesn't exist. So this is all you see. But then you see it move down, so you're looking for it to bounce at 61.8, right? Which it did, but they respected it, but it pierced it a little bit. That could be a lot of times that's due to stop running. You're basically looking for these levels to be support and resistance. Now you combine this usually with standard support levels or resistance levels, and you look at this. Our market, this was a resistance at one time, right? And like I said before, support becomes a resistance. So now you have a standard support, which meshes pretty closely with the 61.8 level. Boom. Look for a buy. And as the market went back up, so you came in right there. See, this time it respected it much better. And look, it matches up almost perfectly. See, this is where I'm looking at. That's where I got support right here before. Right there. It's almost right at 61.8 level. Boom. Market completely respected it right there. And it actually, because it matched up right with this other previous area of support. And that's kind of how you use the retracement portion of it. Now let's look at the mechanics. So we'll delete it real quick. So this isn't considered an object, so we're going to go to Fibonacci, we'll delete both. So I already stood up so it's right next to my drawing tools, and this is right here. If you look at it, it's the dotted lines with F for Fibonacci. Another way that you can do it is you go to Insert at the top, this is a MetaTrader, and go to Fibonacci. Now you have the retracements and the expansion and time zones. Right now we're just focusing on the retracements because just basically for time's sake, and also because this is what I know the best. Okay, and so that's the basics of it. There's not much more to explain. Like I said, it's best to use with other tools like SR, support and resistance, and let's say that. Oh, let's check and see something. So we have a trend line that's kind of like this, right? From here to here. Go where they close is where I usually do it. I don't think it's going to line up precisely, but it's pretty close. See how price went down to the 62% level, but this also kind of goes in contact with this trend line. This is also another way to use it. Well, basically what I'm getting at is use it in combination with support and resistance levels and trend lines and moving averages. Don't use it by itself. But that, and that's pretty self-explanatory. You just draw it and you look at these levels and look for bouncing. Now the tool itself is actually, you can do other things to it. If you go into it and go to Edit, look at these levels. These are the Fibonacci levels. The 0.236, the 0.382, the 0.5, the 0.618. No, but you can change these and say, let's say, oh, okay, well, so you're using the measure move rule combined with a 3C technique, and so you're like, oh, I think price will bounce 25%, so you change that to 25. Or maybe instead of 68, it's going to bounce at 75%. So change to both. I forgot to change the lettering because the description is going to tell you what it is. So I'm just going to put 75% and 25%. Okay, push OK. Now look. Now instead of just a 38, it says 25% and 75%. You can change it to whatever you want. Let's go back to it. Let's look at Edit. Let's say support here. Click support here. And not only can you do that, but look, you can change the color of it all. And so, I didn't save it. Now it's red. Pretty nifty. So you can really customize this and come up with your own uses for it. So that is that. I think that's all I'll do for Fibonacci levels, especially because I've gone over time on previous videos and they're pretty simple to use. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the brief video. Have a great day.